The Japanese have some of the most effective philosophies around how to live a meaningful life. I'm not Japanese, but I did grow up in a countryside village. As a kid, I spent a lot of time outdoors and running around with the other kids. Physical activity was one of the only ways to make something out of the day because there were no phones and iPads to play with. One of the things that my mum would always say whenever I sat to eat is don't eat too much if you're going to be playing outside. She would mean it so that I didn't throw it all up, but that saying meant much more than that. And the Japanese figured it out. In this video, I'll go through 3 Japanese self-care practices that are hidden in plain sight, which you can also use to cure your brain. Hara Hachi Bu means to eat at 80% full. Typically when we're eating, we keep eating until we can eat no more. That feeling of fullness is not actually what you feel at 100% full. You've gone way past that. When you're eating, the brain doesn't register the food coming in until 20 minutes after. So there's a 20-minute delay between you feeling full and your brain finding out. When you continue eating for those 20 minutes, you tend to overeat and eat past your limit. Stopping a bit short of full gives your body enough time to register the meal and feel satisfied from it. Now obviously this will help you keep your weight in check by preventing you from overeating, but it also prevents feelings of sluggishness and bloating. Overeating carbs and sugars spikes your blood sugar way higher than normal, and as a result your pancreas dumps a fat chunk of insulin to counteract that. Insulin is great at what it does, which is to soak up the glucose from the bloodstream, but when there's too much of it, it soaks up a bit too much glucose. Turns out your brain runs entirely on glucose, so now that there's a lack of glucose in the system, you crash. This is why you get lethargic after heavy eating. Stopping at 80% full avoids that crash completely, and you're not left stranded inside your own body after every meal. Now, my family moved out of the village and we migrated to Australia. Again, I've never even lived in Japan, but after spending 10 more years in Australia and growing up to the youthful age of 21, I did get a chance to visit Japan. I visited Tokyo, Osaka, and then eventually Kyoto, which is where I realized how at ease my mind felt when I was just wandering. And not just that, but wandering through the bamboo forest of Kyoto with no destination in mind. Shinrin-Yoku means to slowly and aimlessly wander through the forest with no destination in mind. It's different from hiking because it's aimless and undirectional. It feels something like walking aimlessly through a city or a town, but with an endless forest around you. This shifts your body out of alert mode and into rest mode, and this is something that can be measured. The key stress hormones your body produces is adrenaline and cortisol, and what they've found is a noticeable drop in both after time spent in the forest compared to walking around the city. And this is because the environment itself is a visual de-stressor. The forest is quieter, dimmer, has natural shapes, and no sharp edges and flashing screens around you. Cities, on the other hand, require constant low-level vigilance. You could simply just be walking and having to look out for cars, noise, and having to make decisions every single second. A forest doesn't ask for anything, and your nervous system can just stand down for a second. So whenever you feel overstimulated, know that your stress response has been activated and go aimlessly walking somewhere. Or better yet, go aimlessly walking into the woods, but try not to get lost. Now, during my stay in Tokyo, I stayed over across many kinds of cheap hotels and capsules. And one of the things I noticed is that the Japanese way of living is so effortlessly integrated into their culture that something that would seem like an anomaly in any other place just makes complete sense in Japan. One of those things were the onsen baths. The Japanese culture calls for you to take a warm bath in a nice onsen during an evening. And at one point I really considered it. It's just that you had to take off all your clothes. Not even a towel was allowed in there. This is probably the most obvious method because everyone loves soaking in warm water. But not only does this shift your body from alert mode and into rest mode, but the ritual of soaking itself dedicates a block of time that is purely for relaxation. Away from your phone, no multitasking, and just sitting in the water and letting your mind wander through your thoughts. It's like a mini vacation. Because every time you made to sit still and not focus anything, your brain reorganizes the thoughts and feelings that were left unattended. I personally find saunas super relaxing for specifically this reason, because I can't take my phone in there. And so I'm made to sit still for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. And what my brain does with that free time is up to him. It's free time, but premium. Because normally when we have free time, we fill it up with useless things like watching YouTube. And true free time feels like a premium because we just don't afford ourselves that luxury. Make a warm bath or find a sauna to sit in for 10 to 15 minutes and see how it changes and cures your brain. So to sum it up, you can easily cure your brain by eating to 80% full and then aimlessly walking through a forest somewhere and then coming back to a sauna to sit in for just 10 minutes. It's a simple protocol, and by finding ways to implement it in your daily life, you can easily release a great deal of stress.